It's Monday night. Welcome to D&D. Welcome to Roll of Passage. We're a group of nerdy friends who hang out in my basement and play Dungeons & Dragons to learn more about each other and tell fun stories. All right. Like I always say, earmuffs on the kids because we'll probably swear, and there may be violence or other bad things. So, adults only. Unless you're a really cool kid, then...
Fucking A.
The fucking hardest 3-year-old in the world listens to us.
3?
These guys, fuck.
No.
All right, so a recap of where we're at. You guys, it's been a journey. You, from the mother in Wanderlust, almost 3 weeks ago in game time, set out to find out what had gone wrong with the Great Tree Relaya in the center of the Green Sea. You made your way there with a couple of adventures along the way with, some dead horses and an old man that none of you trusted. You came to the plateau that the tree was upon, finding a great hot spring on your way where some of you became gold, some of you had to sing, and you also found a few wonderful magic items. You then made your way to the top, nearly killing 2 mushroom people, only killing 1, before stopping yourselves and realizing that they could potentially be allies. Somehow they forgave you very quickly, and you went to their town, a little place called the Mire, where you met them and learned all about what had happened, that a silver man had come to the tree and stabbed it with some sort of strange knife, and the tree got sick and started to die. And at the same time, these beings came into consciousness, as well as another set of beings called the Blights. You created diversions, had a bit of a siege, made your way into the bottom of the tree where Denazim, the Voiceless One, an ancient emerald dragon, protector of this crossing of the ley lines here on Aloria, lived, seemed to be caught or captured inside of a giant crystal. You fought some blights, got sucked into the crystal, and are now in a strange sort of alternate reality version of yourselves in this green storm town, where it's as if your lives had gone a little bit differently, this might have been who you became. You made your way around the town. Anon sort of faced some of her past, but wasn't quite ready to let things go. And then Eltamiel faced his past, the death of his wife, having to relive that moment again a second time before finally realizing that he is stronger, not feeling personally guilty for her death, pushing Extos in front of him to stop the sight of this horrific act, and in that moment was released and now was flushed with the memories both of the life outside of the tree, but remaining and keeping the memories of the life of the body that you're inhabiting while you're inside of this crystal prison. And that is where we are going to pick up tonight. So
cool.
what would you guys like to do?
Where are we now?
You're still in that scene, basically. The fog cloud that Alora cast is still up, and Eltamiel has just sort of been flooded with these memories and understanding of what is going on, and that's where we pick up.
Is the scene, like, is his wife killed herself now? Like, is that done?
Make a perception check.
Uh, 19.
19. Okay, so you're able to, you start peering through the fog cloud that is around, take a few steps forward, looking down that street towards where that hanging tree was. And now the tree has been split in half, as if struck by lightning, and there is no body hanging from any of the limbs.
Exos is just going to turn to Elts and be like, oh, well, guess that probably means that our memories are back. You too?
Did they get theirs back?
No, just you.
Oh.
Because I was telling you that I remember everything.
Right.
Because I was getting them back.
Right.
Make a wisdom save for me.
Okay. Believe.
Nice.
21.
21. So in that moment when he pulled you in front of him and like deeply connected with you to try to help him through this hard moment, up until now, you didn't know who he was.
Right.
But in that moment, you felt and still continue to feel a very, very strong bind to this person, even though you still don't know who they are, but you're like, this is somebody important. I should know them, but I'm not really sure how.
Okay, so Exos is going to turn to Elitz and just like, are you like doing okay?
No, I'm not.
He's just gonna just embrace him, just keep.
Elt's gonna hug back pretty tight, and he'll whisper like, "Thank you."
Thalia's just gonna go up and just like go next to them and just like kind of just put her hand on Elt's back.
I'm so sorry. I don't think she's there anymore.
Are you maintaining the fog cloud or are you dropping the spell?
I'm dropping it.
Okay, so just sort of a slight breeze passes by and it all goes away, and you can now see down the street over Extos' shoulder. Same thing, tree split in half. Still sort of standing, but not fully, but there's no more body in the boughs.
He's gonna kind of like sniff and like wipe some tears from his cheek and like, does anybody know what that means? Like the tree split in half like that.
No.
But my wife, she's gone.
She was just an illusion, just like everything else.
Still hurts to see her die twice.
You all hear in your head, are memories illusions? Or are they something more?
I'm landed on the side of something more. I'm assuming everybody else heard that.
Yeah.
Well, I did, but, excuse me, miss, can you please let us out now? If you're there.
No answer.
Is this what happened the first time with your wife?
This surprisingly was much easier than the first time.
That sucks, man.
I hope I never have to see any of that again.
Since we're also... Oh, I'm sorry. Since we're so close together, can I see if I notice that we're all wearing the same rings?
Make a perception check.
Nat 20.
And yes, absolutely. You're a person of fashion, a person of taste, and you've noticed for a while now this ring that's on your finger that you weren't wearing before you came to this place. And now that you sort of have this calm moment, you look around and everybody's close. You notice the same silver ring on everybody's finger. Different fingers, different hands, but everybody's wearing the same ring.
Hey. We've all got the same ring. Do you notice? Look, this one here.
This one?
I know this ring. Oh,
Sorry, at the end of last, Anon remembered everything as well.
That's right, you did.
Yeah. So would we remember then that the mother...
You two would.
Yeah,
we
okay.
would,
Yeah.
I just hold up my hand with the ring. I say, the mother gave these rings to us so that we could communicate with her.
Who's that?
yeah, she did. You're right.
How do you know that?
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember everything now. Another life at a different place.
We know each other.
All a little bit different then. Over there.
Where?
I don't know you.
How would you describe it? Where? I mean,
Unlikely friends.
I've never met you.
not here
What are
yet.
you talking about?
Can you trust us? To know that there's something more than just this going on? Let's see what we have to do to help everyone else remember.
What does this ring mean?
It's like a way of talking to somebody. You're in the school of magic. I'm sure it's like a communication spell type thing inside of the ring. We used to all hold hands, stand in a circle.
We used to all hold hands? Oh my god.
We should try
the
it.
other me feels the same way.
How far away am I from everyone? 'Cause remember, I got
You would sort of
respawned essentially.
Yeah, so you respawned at the fountain. So if you wanted to make your way back to them, it would take about 10 minutes or so.
I rolled a 24.
Yeah.
Would it be back now, or is this still happening?
This is still happening.
Cool.
Yeah. You rolled a 24, which means you remembered how to get back there, but it was still a walk.
I lied. I don't remember what it was.
You're so bad.
Derper's like going back to her previous view. That motherfucker.
I'm going to start writing down every roll.
Should we do it?
Well, all of us need to be here. Sorry, I thought he was here earlier.
Who? The boy? Peter?
Well, last time you saw the boy, he was a woman.
Oh, right.
The super hot mom.
The MILF.
I don't remember Petra, a woman.
No, I don't either. But we only knew him as Peter before.
Oh.
I don't remember if she ever had a ring on.
Because Peter disappeared.
He sure did.
Well, should we find Peter
Or Petra?
or Petra?
I think let's find either one of them and give these rings a shot. If they don't work, then we'll keep going on our ways. And
Well, Petra said that she's Peter's mom. So maybe if we find one, it'll help us find the other. I don't know.
yeah, that's a good plan.
Maybe she'll have the ring.
This is such a mind trip. Oh man. Did we get along in this? Like, am I fighting with anybody?
We were all best friends.
Oh.
Best friends.
We
Elle's gonna
were
piss
best
off.
friends.
Best friends.
I just look at you. Shut up.
It's better this way.
Who was I in this other life? If I'm not this, I can't imagine being anyone else.
I can't imagine being anyone else either.
I think it's better that you remember for yourself and not have someone else tell you.
Okay.
That's fine, as long as I still own the town. All is fine.
I was rich, wasn't I? I was beautiful, wasn't I?
Well, I guess we let's go find Petra and be on our way.
Okay.
Okay. Easy enough. She is making their way towards you guys, and you were making your way looking, and so it didn't take too long, maybe 5 minutes or so,
Are you
and you guys
Petra?
cross paths.
You're Petra?
Can I by chance find like a pub or an inn with a really good restaurant while I'm walking or running back to them?
You can certainly try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make an investigation check.
Investigation check.
What are you gonna drink? Green orb?
It's St. Patrick's Day every day.
Flubber.
9.
You come across a number of taverns and inns, occasionally coming across one that you even remember. It should have been in the Imperium, not here, or maybe you came across at some point in time on your travels, but the doors are always locked.
To every single one.
Every single one.
I'll keep knocking on every door as I search for all of them.
Okay, that'll extend the amount of time it takes you guys to find one another.
Ignore every single one I see and just walk straight to them.
Which one are you doing?
The
I don't
latter.
care.
The
I'm
latter,
just-
the latter,
okay,
the latter.
Okay. So yeah, it takes like 5 minutes. You guys sort of see each other at the end of a street walking towards.
Who do we see? Is it?
It's Petra.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we walk up to her, can we see if or can I see if she has a ring on?
Oh yeah, it's easy enough.
The same ring?
Same ring. yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Anon and be like, just kind of like, give her the eyes. Petra, you, we need you for something.
How can I help?
It's gonna sound strange, but we need you to give us your hands and stand in a circle with us. And just believe that you're gonna be talking to somebody pretty soon.
Yep.
I thought you were going to say something strange. I'm going to stand in the circle ready to go.
I like
This is pretty strange.
Elto just put his hands out just for people to grab.
Okay.
Well, this is like something that I'm not familiar with, so can you lead the way?
Don't you pray?
Well, I pray, but I mean, Usually there's like someone that I know that I'm praying to, and I've never met this person.
No, I definitely don't pray.
I didn't pray in my other life, but I knew it was something magic, or at least I thought it was. I don't really know how we did it. We just kind of
I
wanted
just
it.
kind of lean forward. Come in, mother.
Now this is strange.
I just tap the ring. Are you there?
Roll a d20 for me.
Two.
Oh
You all hear static in your heads, and you are all going to take
What?
no.
1 point of psychic damage.
No way.
I accept my.
It's just instantly, you start holding hands, you say, "Come in, mother," and it's like you all sort of feel like, you know, when you go over a weird bump in the road and your stomach drops out a little bit, or you go on a roller coaster, same thing happens. It's like that for half a second, and then it's just like you don't hear static in your head, you just have static in your head, and then it just hurts, but then it just cuts off instantly. And anon, you hear in your voice, "We can't reach out from here."
I respond back. Who are you and what do you want with us?
Oh, I don't want anything from you except for you guys to just all be the best versions of yourself. And maybe get me out of here.
Okay, Tony.
How do we get you out of here?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. That's comforting.
Who are
Why?
you talking to?
I'll explain in a second.
Mother, he's probably talking to mother.
Oh, right.
Are you only? I can only hear
Only
this.
you.
Okay.
Yep.
Say, if you don't know how to get out of here, why are you trying to help us be our better selves?
I don't know. It just kind of felt right. I don't know. When you guys started getting close to my tree, I could feel your lives, your memories, who you are, who you were. I don't. This is all new to me too. I just kind of go in with it.
I like your vibes.
I liked the other you better.
I was just gonna ask, are these versions of ourselves, are these the better versions, the worse versions?
That's complicated. I just sort of... I saw one big decision in each of your lives, and I just got really, really curious. And then all of a sudden you were here, and I was like, well, let's see how that goes. This is all new to me too.
This is adult Micah.
Micah became a dragon.
I just kind of smile and I'm like, well, Denazim, if I can call you that,
Yeah, that feels right.
we're gonna do everything we can to get you out of here.
Thanks.
Ask them where they are.
Have fun.
Denethim? You spoke with Denethim?
Yeah,
The dragon?
yeah. I think that's who's been talking to us, to each of us, this whole time.
The
We're
dragon?
Did we come to get it out? We went to that big crystal.
You remember?
You don't remember that.
I remember it? I rolled and you said I remembered the crystal in the cave.
Not anymore, you don't.
Oh, I forgot? Oh, okay. Who's Denethim? Why were you
I'm interested.
Denazim is not someone you should be afraid of. I'm just gonna come out and say it. She's a dragon,
A dragon?
and
A nice
she's
dragon.
A
She's a
big
nice
green
dragon. And she's also trapped here in this crystal, and she doesn't know how to get out either. So that's cool.
Why would we want to get the dragon out?
If the dragon can't get out, we're screwed.
That's why we came into this crystal. I know you don't remember, but we came in with a
Make
purpose.
a history check for me.
$20.
So, in your studies, you had read that in theory there are good dragons, but the entire history of your people, of everything that had gone on, the founding of the Imperium, everything was because the dragons tried to wage war on all life on the planet and take control of it. So you know in theory that there might be good dragons, but you have like a deep historical and familial distrust of anything draconic.
Okay. I don't know about this. I mean, my father was a part of the war that all the dragons tried to destroy us, and it was awful. And I don't know. I just don't think. Maybe there's some dragons that can be trusted, but I've never met one who can be.
Well, dragon or not, you're stuck here just as much as they are. And, well, I think we can take a guess as to what's going on. Some psychic forces kept us here. And it seems to be warping our sense of self, our identity of who we exist as. And you, I suspect that after your journey, this reality is going to interact with you differently. Do you know who you are more than you knew who you were an hour ago?
Yeah, a little bit. It's confusing, but I would still say yes.
Then it's what I suspect. If this place is taking our identities away from us just to take our past realities away, then maybe we need to find a way to get our realities back. Look, if I've learned anything about identity, it's that it's something inside. It's a subconscious self-awareness of the people we know we must be. If we are just a thought floating through time and space, we must find a way to hold on to ourselves in that time and space, and whatever we must do today is to find out who we are again. And maybe that will break us through this magical psychotic psychosis.
Do you know what she's saying?
I have no idea. Is there a translator for this lady?
I actually think that the lady has a point. This whole space has been planned for us, and it's showing all of the things that we're familiar with, and all of these different memories that, well, frankly, it's still confusing. But this guy named Elt, he had to go through something really hard and had something to do with his memory. So maybe there's something that, like these trials, that we need to do for all of us.
Oh.
I suspect that you're all gonna get your memories back if you go through with it.
How do I know I want to get my memories back?
Yeah, I like my life the way it is. I just want to get out of here.
I just want to go back to my regular life.
But I think getting out of here is gonna require you getting your memories back.
Oh.
What if that life isn't true? Wouldn't you rather experience true reality than...
I don't want my life to not be true. I like my life.
I know we just met, but we can all help each other, just like we're here with Elt. We can be here with you.
I don't like the sound of any of this.
Trust me, it's not fun.
Ugh.
Should we go to the tree? Is that the best option?
That one that's split in half?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only aspect of what we've seen that has been able to be affected, and it's not all green.
That's true.
El's just gonna steal himself and... Alright then.
Sally's gonna flip her coin if you should go to the tree or not. I forgot to say which one was it. Had to go to the tree. Okay, let's go to the tree.
If I might be able to test this theory, else if you take the lead, what I'm going to be looking for is if the reality shapes around you, or if it shapes around the people behind you. With you in the front, in theory, this whole world should shape around you, but if it shapes around the second person in the line, that we know, the more we know ourselves and how true we are to ourselves, the more we can shape the reality that we exist in.
Well, if I'm the one that was already leading the way down the street, I would have then created this reality, gesture to the tree. What if somebody else starts walking towards it, and then it changes? Then maybe they're the ones changing, and then everybody's going to be following their own path.
If we're creating realities, can we just make them better? Why are these ones all so depressing?
I believe that's precisely the point.
Okay, we can do. How do we do that, smart lady?
Through hard work, time, and dedication.
That's what drive.
So,
Things off. The power.
so do you want me to lead, or should somebody else lead?
Do you want to go first?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Let you drive.
And it'll be your emotional journey next now.
Just gonna just fiddle with her diamond necklace, nervously, but looking really confident while she walks ahead.
Make a deception check for me.
Deception. 17.
Okay.
I'm good at deceiving people.
You're the only one that notices that she's putting up a front.
I'm just gonna kind of walk still behind her, but somewhat beside her, just hey, new friend, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's totally gonna be. It can be great. It's fine. Thanks, Withered. You're Withered, right?
Well, anyways, not quite, but
Sorry,
it's
magic person.
Yeah.
Well, you all kind of blend the same to me.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that, hey, we're gonna help out you, and you can help out us. But I know it's scary, but
I'm not scared. I just don't like it. This whole thing just pisses me off. But
Well,
thanks though.
I get it. You have a lot to lose, but maybe you have a lot more to gain.
I don't like to think about that too much because it makes me feel sick to my stomach.
Hey,
I'm just gonna pretend that nothing. I'm just walking. Everything's fine.
we're just walking.
We're just walking.
We're just walking.
Just walking so easy.
Okay, and so you make your way down the street towards the tree, and everything seems to stay the same. It's just a tree, there's a street, and then you get to sort of this, it's like a village green, that this tree is up on a hill with a bit of a roundabout around it. And as you get to sort of this, and you look off to your side down an intersection, the street is in Tol Badur, the dwarven city that you live in. The sky above that street isn't a storm, it is a green rock roof, stone roof, because Tol Badur is beneath the earth. And you see the dwarven buildings, you see stout, stocky, strongly built stone structures, a street you've walked down before in the Sungate district of Tol Badur.
I think this is my city. You guys see this?
And
This
as you
is
all
your
come
home.
up and you look that way, sure enough, Alora, you look around and you see the dwarven street, and you look to your right, and you see the street that leads up to your father's mansion in the Imperium, down another intersection. A street that you've walked down hundreds and thousands of times. Beautiful, wide, broad avenue, tall trees, perfectly clean cobble streets, hedges, shops, opulence. Extos, stepping just a step behind Thalia, you sort of can see a little bit over the hill, down another intersection coming out of this sort of roundabout opening, and you see a beach and water and ships moored in the distance. Petra, again off in the distance down another street, you see something that you can't quite wrap your head around. It is a world made of shattered glass and stained glass. And in that stained glass, trying to fit together, are images of streets in Mistport, where Peter grew up, and images of streets of the Imperium, where Petra spent most of her time, and images of streets from all over of Ebria, from both sets of memories, trying to piece together, but in broken, jagged ways that are hard to wrap your head around. And anon, you see at the base of the tree your sister sitting at a campfire, smiles up at you, and you hear a voice in your head that says, "You didn't quite finish, but you're close."
Excuse me, Petra? Maybe your theory was correct, but also I'm starting to see things that are familiar for me. Does this mean that we should stay together, or should we split up?
Would you rather go through the hardest moments of your life alone or with someone?
He's just gonna nod.
Definitely alone.
Yeah, me too.
Alone.
Who are we to tell you what to do with your consciousness and your identity?
Damn straight, lady.
You're so omniscient.
I love Petra. I daydream about role-playing Petra.
You're just
She's
yourself.
lovely.
Myself without imposter syndrome.
Should we go then? Or
Yep, just walking, right?
who wants a companion?
Yeah, I've got nowhere to go. If somebody wants me, I'll come along. If not, I'll just stay here.
Can I have that dragon? Oh, the dragon's gone.
Well, Eltz, you seem like a really great person, and if you'd like to join me on my adventure here, then by all means.
Put a hand on your shoulder and I kind of give you a squeeze. You were there for me, so I'll be there for you.
Should we never separate the party? Isn't that like the golden rule?
Golden
What?
rule of what?
I don't know. Life.
Do people see my alley?
Yeah, everybody sees everything else that is going on
Okay.
here. Once it's created, it becomes reality.
Can we just all go with the wizard? Is that okay with you?
I just say, I think we're safe here.
Okay.
I trust this.
It's a nice thought, but I don't think you would do so well in there. And you're just gonna see fractals of reality warping time and space behind my head.
For you?
Oh, hell no.
So for everybody else, their streets look like real places, but
Full Doctor
Petra's
Strange.
street is like
It's a mirror to me.
cracked glass. It's like 50 different realities were shattered and then put back together. So there's still a street. There are still buildings, but the building will start off with a stone foundation, and then it becomes a carved out tree, and then it becomes half of a farmhouse with a brick barn growing at it. All of this different it is hard to wrap your head around looking down this street.
Holy shit, lady. We need to have a beer sometimes. You tell me what the hell happened in your consciousness
I looked
thing.
high and low in this city. I desired it. I tried to manifest it into my reality. There is no liquor in this plane of existence, so I might as well just deal with whatever I am. Thank you. And I'm going to, one by one, shake everyone's hands and then give them a hug. And I'm going to kiss all of them on the cheek.
What are you
Does it
doing?
feel like
this?
a motherly sort of hug and kiss, or is it
Well,
Like
it's,
a
Is it milferly or motherly?
yeah, milkily or motherly?
How weird are we getting? Oh, Mrs. Petra. I'm friends with your son.
You just hear this guitar from dun 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 dun.
You're celibate.
Wow. And I'm just
Your order is definitely not celibate.
Oh, never mind.
Praise the sea.
Plenty of semen. Get your mind out of the gutter.
and I'm just gonna be walking backwards, and like as if like water is slowly consuming me, like vertical water.
You're going alone?
Walking through a curtain of water backwards. Yeah. Wait,
And
yeah.
I'm coming with you.
We're not
Nothing
going
changes
alone.
on your body.
Okay.
You literally just step fully into this scene. The scene is just fucking wild
Yeah.
around you, but like it doesn't change Petra's body at all.
What?
That's not my fantasy.
That's gonna be so loud.
I'm so sorry to everyone.
Hope the compressor worked.
Hearing doctors love them. And if you find my son, tell him which way I went.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're
can
going
do.
alone?
And then I'm going to turn and just start running into my
Okay.
mirror reality.
Is anybody going with Petra or?
No.
No.
I'm gonna say to the group, like, I don't know what everybody else is going through, but I wouldn't want to be doing it alone. I probably would have made a wrong decision if I wasn't alone.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna go with Petra.
Oh.
I'm just gonna be kind of focused on my own thing, so I'm just gonna say, I know what I need to do, and I just kind of start walking towards my sister.
Well,
Not following you.
Alora, you can come with us if. I'm sure we'd make a great team.
I mean, if Anon's going alone, I'll go alone.
And I'm gonna curtsy and head head off without.
Where's
And you're going with them?
I'm going without. Or X.
Well, and he said he was going with you.
Yeah.
So where are you two going? Because neither.
Yeah, X's
Yeah,
road.
sorry.
Oh, to
my-
yours.
yeah,
Okay.
sorry, sorry.
I'm just like, wait, what?
I was following
I'm
you.
following you. I'm following you.
We're just the Spider-Man.
Who's on
Okay. Let's start with Anon, because yours is closest. So you take 10 steps and turn around, and there is Celeste just sitting at a fire.
I sit down, kind of not quite beside her, kind of beside and across. I just look at her.
And
Don't
it
say
is
anything.
your 6-year-old sister. So the memories of you in this reality remember her being 13, but the memories of outside the tree Anon, Celeste died when she was 6. He's 100% reading the Twitch chat over my shoulder.
That's exactly what he's doing.
How would they know?
I was listening to the wall.
It looks really good on camera.
Where was I? Oh, I'm just gonna keep looking at my little sister and start kind of crying, but I still don't say anything.
Put her hands on her little chin and goes, "What's wrong?"
I just kind of like wipe a tear away and say, "Hi, Celeste."
Hi, Nani.
The fact that you're playing a little girl so well is amazing. I'm just gonna like not be able to make eye contact and just say, I'm sorry I let you down.
You didn't let me down. I'm a big sister.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. And just gonna look at her and say, are you happy? Are you okay?
I think so. What is this place?
Yeah, I thought so. And I just give Celeste a hug and just whisper, I'm sorry. And forgive myself, but I don't say the words.
as you have that feeling, her little arms just like tightly wrap around your neck, and you hear her voice and Denazim's voice sort of overlaid over one another, but coming out of her mouth. And it just says, "You've got a lot to forgive yourself for, but not this. But I'm so proud of you. Go find him." And then it just sort of, the body drifts into smoke and fades away. And you remember both lives simultaneously, knowing which one is the life that you actually lived, but being able at any point in time to call upon the memories of who your sister would have been and who she would have grown into.
That's cool. Do I feel any different after that? Because I'd already remembered.
You remembered, now it's like a surety.
Okay.
And now you can easily switch sort of between the two memory streams, knowing reality, but also knowing that somehow, somewhere out there, she is still alive.
What do I remember about my patron?
In this reality?
Yeah, and now that I kind of have both, like, do I feel like a real connection to this patron? Or is
You
it?
do.
Yeah.
So this patron is a fiend. A very not so nasty, or very not so nice demon who gave you this pact. Basically for two reasons. One, because in that moment you were searching power. And two, because they are unable to interact with the material plane in Aloria, and wanted you to essentially occasionally corrupt people's lives so that when they died, their soul went to him. They were an up-and-coming general in the armies of hell who basically was trying to build their army.
Gotcha.
And would occasionally just steer you in one direction or another. It was a very sort of passive arrangement. Not the sort of thing where it's like at any given time you feel them. It's most of the time you could just go on about your life, and you could go weeks or months or even years without contact, and then every now and again you would walk into a new town and you would just know that that person that you just passed in the street, make them do bad things.
Would I have any knowledge of how to break a pact, or is that not really something? Is that even possible?
Make either an Arcana or a Religion check for me.
To see which one I'm better at. Arcana. 19.
19. Pacts can be broken, but like with any contract, it all depends upon the fine print. Some warlocks, and you've met others in your travels as alternate reality anon, some warlocks are able to break their pacts and maintain their power. Others, depending upon the agreement that was made, when they break their pact, they lose their power. They can still live, but their power is lost. Some have fully sold their soul, so no matter what they do, when they die, they're going to belong to whatever they made that deal with. There's also pacts with good creatures. You can make a pact with a fae being, or even a pact with a god. You, in your moment of weakness, made a pact with something that capitalized on that. And you get the feeling that it's the kind of pact you can break, but at the cost of what you have earned.
I'm just curious. I'm not going to do anything at this point. So, yeah. Thanks.
Yep, no problem. I'm gonna roll to see who's next.
That is cute.
Nalora, you turn down your street, and it feels real, but it also feels off, because The usual bird song isn't there. The usual sort of white noise of a city as large as the Imperium is not in the background. So while it feels like home, it also feels entirely alien. But your feet know this street, and they follow the steps. And unless there's somewhere particular you want to go, they will lead to your father's house.
I'll go there.
Okay. You go, you open the door, and you step into the grand foyer of your father's house. The two sweeping staircases leading up to the second and third floors, the white marble. It is opulent and beautiful, and everything you believe that you have ever deserved in this life. Your family earned this by fighting in the war. They've earned this by creating the government, being part of the government of the Imperium. Your father being one of the 9 counselors, and has been one of the 9 counselors for almost 1,200 years now. This is your family's legacy. This is your legacy. Where would you like to go in your house?
Just to my father's office, if he's there.
Yeah, so you go upstairs and walk down the long wooden paneled hallway, the arcane lights, lanterns glowing on the walls. There's just a sort of a soft, faint yellow. And you come to the double doors at the end, knock against the door. You just hear a muffled voice from inside go, "Yes?
Father, are you there?
Come in, Laura."
And I know that because of what we figured out that this is not exactly real. Yes, or does it?
Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Sorry.
How was
You're
it?
good.
13.
You know it's not real, but has repercussions.
Okay.
So while you could potentially cut your dad's head off in this reality, things would happen. It feels real even though you know it's not real, kind of thing.
Okay.
And he's there sitting behind his big wooden desk, the walls lined with books. There are overstuffed chairs. There's sort of just a soft light coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. There's no actual lanterns in here, but it is always perfectly lit depending upon the time of day. And your father is there sitting behind the desk, sort of short cropped dark hair, his long elven ears, and he's wearing like this like perfectly cut 3-piece suit. The pin of his badge of office on his lapel, and he sort of looks up and, "Hello, darling. Close the door."
I'll close it. How are you?
You know, busy, a little tired. That uprising. Who would have thought that people would have thought that we are tyrants?
I know, it doesn't make any sense. We do so much for them.
This is what happens, I suppose. People are always going to be unhappy, and so we have to do our best to ensure that most are comfortable.
That's true. I had a question.
Of course. Sit.
I've just been pondering in these last few days. Have we always been destined to be wizards? I mean, you've been a wizard for so long, and Estelle and Erin will take your place one day.
Well, you will. Estelle has no magic. That's why she was sent away to the school.
Yeah.
She has her purpose, as we all have our purpose. We must do our duty for the family, for the good of the Imperium, but mostly for the Everards.
I mean, what do we do about Estelle if she never gets her magic?
Oh, she will do other things for the good of the family, for the good of the Imperium.
Like what?
What do you know of the Hedragura? Make a history roll for me.
23.
So you know as much as sort of anybody knows about the Hedragora. That's the proper name. It is more commonly known as the Shadowsong Sanctuary. It is rumored to be a school of assassins. And that's where she's been sent. On the outside, it is considered a boarding school for people destined to become generals, to become political ambassadors, to become people who are sent around the world to do the good of the Imperium. But everybody kind of knows that there's a darker side to it. It is unconfirmed, but one of those rumors that has been a rumor long enough that everyone just assumes it's true.
Okay. Well, I guess she'll do her best there. I know she's a good fighter.
She will do what she needs to do for us, for the council. Why these questions? Why wonder if we're all meant to be wizards?
I mean, you've been a wizard for so long. Have you not thought of that?
Not everybody has the same gifts. There are wizards. Would we be without the priests of Lathander? What would we be without the soldiers in the fields? If we were all wizards, what good would the world be? We all have our place and our duty, and we must do what we are born into. You were born with the gifts of magic, your sister wasn't, and thus she was thrust into the path that she is on now for the good of the family.
That's true. Well, best be off.
And as you say that, there's a soft at the door behind you. Yes? And you hear your sister, her voice, Estelle's voice. Father, I've done what you've asked. Can I come in? Oh, of course. And your sister comes in to the room, dressed head to toe in black leathers, dragging behind her a much larger body, tied, black hood over the head. And your father instantly, close the damn door. What'd you bring him here for? Your sister. Well, I thought you'd want to see, Father. He has been quite a thorn in your side after all.
Estelle, who is that?
Oh, just a peasant. You know, a bother, a rebel, filthy scum.
Well, it's good you be rid of him then.
Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Ooh. 9.
9. You are going to take 2 points of psychic damage. As the hood is pulled off, it is William Winsgate. The man who you saved, but you've never met before. And this crashing headache fills your mind as you know who this man is, and you know the pain he has caused your family, but you're sure he's innocent somehow. And your sister just goes, shall I get it done with then? Pulls out a dagger and holds it to his throat. And your father's like, not on the carpet.
No, don't do that.
Why not? He's just a filthy rebel.
Wait, I think I know him.
The man's eyes are wide, gag in his mouth. He's just staring at you.
Can I take off all of the restraints?
You try to move forward, and your sister pulls him back. What are you doing? You mad?
I know this man. He's good.
He killed our bloody house captain.
What's even his name? Do you know?
Doesn't matter. Bill something? Elora, what is this all about? Your father stands behind his desk, slamming his hands down on the wood.
This man's a good man. I know him.
You know him? You know the bloody rebels?
I recognize him.
His life is meaningless. We cut him down. One less person on the street speaking out against the Imperium, speaking out against our family.
I don't know. He's just an innocent man.
Are any men innocent? He's taken lives.
So have you.
For the good of the family, for the good of the Empire.
What if our family's not the most important thing?
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with
Family
me?
is everything.
But power's not.
Explain yourself.
I can't go on living like this all the time. Constantly thirsting for power, control.
Someone has to control. Someone has to take care of everyone else. That takes hard decisions. You should know this. What are they teaching you at that damn school? Has it gotten soft?
You're right, Dad. I'm sorry. I just don't know if I'm doing the right thing anymore.
Oh, Elora. He sort of steps out from behind the desk and slowly walks across the carpet and puts his hand on your shoulder. If you do it for us, you do the right things. He looks over at your sister and nods. She starts to pull the knife across his throat. And you hear a voice in your head that says, "You saved him once. Why not now?" And time freezes. X. You and Eltamiel walk across the village square, and as soon as your feet hit sand, it feels like coming home. You've walked on sand and with water at your ankles and the smell of salt in the air for your entire life. And this place was strange. It smelled wrong. The ground was a little too hard. There was no wind blowing. But here, it feels right. Everything's still a little weirdly green tinged, but it still feels right.
So Exos is gonna, as soon as he hits the sand, his steps are gonna slow down, and then he's just gonna stop there, and he's gonna have like his staff, and he's just gonna close his eyes and like spread his toes and just like breathe in and like a deep inhale, and he's just gonna try to connect to Deep Sashalas. Did I do it?
You practice all week. It's like the stupidest name. Damn, Deep Sashalas. Make a religion roll for me.
Very pious of you.
Sorry, 16.
16. Your connection with your god hasn't necessarily been one of conversation so much as one of omens and portents and signs. And as you sort of reach out to your god, a wave crashes against your foot, and as it pulls away, there's a small little hermit crab just sitting there on the end of your toe that looks up for a second before turning around and burrowing into the sand. And you know from countless moments of trying to contact your god that they're here.
Oh, well, he's here. I can feel him. And he's just gonna, X is just gonna look around and just kind of look for, you know, if there are any other things that are familiar to him that are kind of indicating that he should follow.
Not particularly, no.
What are we looking for here?
Actually, I have no clue.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Oh no.
You have a ridiculous perception score. It might still be okay.
Oh yeah, 17.
That's really good.
And you sort of you have that conversation with Eltamiel, and you sort of like sigh, and you look around, and you remember when you looked through before that there were ships at anchor, and you look out, and sure enough, it's your family's flotilla, and your parents' boat is out there. It's a swim, but it's there.
He's gonna turn to Elt and just say, "Well, do you fancy like a swim or something?"
I'm gonna have to take all this off. I could do it.
All right.
He's gonna start taking his armor off. And
So you get you guys into swimming shape. Make an athletics check for both of you.
So athletic.
Can't hold it good.
It's 14.
11.
Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, you've never swam out from a beach into the ocean fighting against the waves. So there's a couple times where you just sort of like grab onto his belt a little bit and give him a tug because you're at home in the water. This is your space. 5-minute swim. You're both pretty tired, but eventually you come to the rope ladder that leads up to your parents' boat, and you climb up, and you hear your father's voice in the distance. Oh, who's coming up?
He's just gonna be squinting his eyes, just trying to process all this. Like, hey, Dad.
X! Bloody hell!
Yeah.
My boy!
Yeah.
And he just sort of walks out this beautiful Genasi man, blue skin, blue hair, got that glistening wet skin, naked to the waist with just sort of a sash belt tied around and these sort of half pants, barefoot. He's just walking across the chest, barrel-chested, huge muscles from years at sea, and just wraps you up in a hug.
He's gonna hug enough, like he's gonna squeeze enough to show that love, but not enough that he's feeling safe, comfortable, or sure of anything.
Okay, he sort of like puts you down back on the deck. What brings you home, boy?
I guess first off, this is I'm sorry.
Oh,
this
my
is Elt.
apologies. Pleasure to meet you.
Well, it's nice to meet you, sir. You're his father,
Yeah. Breen and Muir.
Eltamir Lefray.
Eltamir Lefray, that's a mouthful of a name, my boy.
Yeah, it is.
Your mother's down decks. You want to go see her? She'd be pleased to have you home.
Well, maybe in a bit. We actually got a couple things that we're trying to do, and just hey, keep doing what you're doing, and I'm really glad to see you.
You as well. It's been years.
Yeah.
You could have called. We could have sent a boat for you.
Actually, I found myself lost at land. You know how it is. So.
Yeah, aye. All right. Well, I've got these nets to get fixing, but it's your home as well as mine. Help yourself.
Cool. He's just gonna look around and not assume that his mom is like the token that he has to find, but just gonna look around and kind of go through memories, and he's looking for any sort of like green colors or specks or things that are pointing out to him.
Make a perception check for
Okay.
me. Please.
16.
16. Doesn't seem to be anything that's standing out on deck, but it's nice to be home. You have that feeling that even though you're pretty sure at this point in time strange things are afoot, it has been a while since you stepped foot on your family's boat, and it is a beautiful large ship, large flat deck, raised section in the back for the tiller and the steering, 3 sails, piles of nets and barrels of fresh water and fish, and just every smell and every splinter in the boards that your toes touch just floods you with memories of home.
He's gonna turn to Elt and be like, well, I think this has to do with my mom probably. Hasn't given itself up yet, so I guess we go see my mom.
You want me there with you?
Yeah.
So you head below deck.
Mhm.
So you walk down the sort of half stairs, half ladders below deck to where your family's sleeping quarters and the hold and the galley are. And as you start heading down, you're instantly awash with the smell of lemon fish, your mother's favorite dish that she cooked at least once a week. And it's just flooding your mind with all of these memories and all of these feelings, the faint hint of dill and the sharpness of the lemons on a nice white fish. And You walk down the steps, and as soon as both of you hit the bottom of the steps, you hear a soft feminine voice just singing a song in the distance, just sort of hum singing. Occasionally a word will come through, but it's mostly just humming, and you know that was your mother. Everywhere she went, there was a song. And that's where we're going to take our break.
That was dirty.
I can't wait to meet Elt's or X's mom.
I know, we've heard so much about it.
It's gonna become Elt's mom soon.
We will be back in a couple minutes to continue our weird tale of weird families.
Trauma.
Drama.
John, oh, damn it.
Horrible. So bad.
That was the best to hit live too.
I said it doesn't sound like an Asian accent. And he's like, everything I say is an Asian accent.
True. Okay, so where we left off, Alora had encountered her father and sister and the life of the person that she was sent out into the world to assassinate, whose life she saved outside of the crystal cocoon. Inan talked to her little sister Celeste and forgave herself for what she believed was her doing in her sister's death. Peter and Thalia stepped into the shattered, crazy reality of madness, and Extos and Eltamil went to the beach and are now on Extos' family ship, having met his father Brunin
Bless you.
and going down
Bless you.
below deck to meet the very infamous Vinny Sacred Drifter.
Ooh, what a good name.
So you walk down the steps, slight rock to the boat as it's sitting at anchor, everything feeling like home, and that soft humming song coming from down the end of the passageway towards where you know the galley is.
Okay. So for X, this like the humming in this song, like the melody that she is humming is very familiar, and he's gonna start really low, but he's just gonna start humming along. Something that, you know, they've always done together is kind of sing, and X doesn't really do that anymore, but he's gonna just kind of hum along.
What is this song about?
It's a song about like everyone kind of like that's a part of this group they're familiar with, and it's just a song about essentially like the people kind of banding together, all facing like the same storm.
Beautiful. And as you walk a little bit down the passageway, your voice gaining a little bit of resonance and mixing and harmonizing with your mom's voice, you just hear a soft laugh, just a come on for dinner then.
Well, I'm not really sure what we're doing here, Mum. But
Enough with the lack of confidence. Come on.
okay.
And you step into the galley, and there is your mom, a lithe human woman, sort of waist-length blonde hair, tanned skin, wearing this sort of like soft dress that just sort of like flows with the breeze, but keeps her covered, keeps her cool in the hot sun. And she sort of turns around and smiles, this beautiful middle-aged face. A little bit sun-worn, a little bit weather-beaten, but brilliant blue eyes, the color of just like the best coastal clear water. And she just, this huge smile breaks across her face as she sees you. You always did look like your father.
What gave it away?
The blue skin mostly. And she just walks over to you, and she only sort of comes up to, you know, a little bit below your chin, and she just wraps her arms around you and says, "Welcome home, my boy."
Hey, Mom, thanks. And he's gonna kind of lean into the hug a little more than with his dad, and he feels really safe. And then he just kind of pauses there, and yeah, just kind of releases his arms and Mom, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. This is Elt, by the way.
She sort of looks over at you, smiles. Typical Ixtus. Brings someone home for dinner, doesn't tell us, ma'am.
Sorry about that, ma'am. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You as well. Does he do that a lot? Say he's not sure of himself. That's sort of always been his issue, hasn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is. We've just learned to deal with it. But
She sort of looks over at you and grins. When you gonna learn to deal with it?
Well, maybe after you give me some of that fish.
Right, get in you then. She goes over and cuts off 2 huge pieces of fish, lemons on top, sprinkling of dill, and then some sort of like cooked up sea vegetables, a little bit of kelp, and hands you both a plate. Can't have you talking on an empty stomach.
Mom, this is it's so good. I'm really sorry that it's been a couple of years. Just felt really, I don't know, pressured and busy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we sent you off to the monastery. Yeah. You could never figure out what you wanted to do, so we figured a little bit of order might sort you out. But turns out you're still the same bucket of nerves you've always been.
When I'm working with people, it feels a little bit easier. When I'm doing something that feels like I'm meaning, but
You've always had a good heart.
yeah, I don't really know what to do anymore.
Well, isn't that the rub?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Fair enough, you don't want to come back to the boat with your dad and I.
I love everyone, but I don't think that's where I'm supposed to be. But I don't know. You've always been like my North Star, and I just was hoping maybe you could tell me what I should do.
You gotta find your own stars, me wee heart. You gotta sail your own seas and figure out who you want to be. You're not a wee little boy underneath my skirts anymore, hiding from the storms. Look at you, big and tall and grown friends of your own. You don't need your family anymore. You gotta go and find yourself.
But, Mum, I thought like family was everything.
We're not going anywhere. But who would you have been if I didn't decide to leave my village, get on that boat with your dad? You've got to go find your own life, son. Sail your own seas, discover new shores, sing your own songs. We'll be here when you're tired. You need to come for a rest and a slice of fish, maybe some pie.
But who's gonna protect like everyone? And what if something really bad happens to you guys?
What if something bad happens and you're here? There's the whole flotilla. There's 127 of us. Who do you have out in the world? Your nice friend here, handsome man. Could use a little more sun on him. Dog agrees.
Will you like forget about me?
Never. You're my blood. Would you forget about me?
Never?
Then why would I forget about you?
So I just like go? Just leave?
Where do you want to go? You can stay. If this is where you want to be, you can stay. But I think there's a bigger song in that throat than you're singing out into the world, mumbling your way down my passageway. I think there's a story that you need to write, that you need to tell out in the world, not here on this creaky old ship. Answer me this, boy. Who do you want to be?
I just want to be me.
And who is that?
Well, before the monastery and like during, like I just wanted to explore, and I know that everything that was on this ship and all the days that we like got to see together, they were great, but I just wanted to just explore and see something that I've never seen before.
Go find it. Go. Do what you've got to do. This has always been your storm. Not believing in yourself, going on in your head, in your heart, not believing in who you are. You bloody Ixtos Muir. Son of Brunin, son of Vinny. Storyteller. Favourite of the gods. Go show the world. Do it with pride.
He's just gonna lunge at her and just give her a hug and
She just wraps you up, giggling.
yeah.
Do you believe in yourself, my boy?
Not at the moment, but I think I can.
What would it take?
Probably leaving here.
Then go on then.
He
I'll
just
always be your mum. But there's another family out there waiting for you to start. For you to find. For you to save. For you to share this fish recipe with.
Thanks, Mum. I'm gonna start making my own North Star. It's gonna be my own.
Aye. Give it a name. Not today. It'll come.
Thanks.
You've always been shy at naming things.
Yeah.
You take care of me, boy.
Of course. He's already taken care of me earlier today. It's the least I can do to return a favor.
That's what he does. He puts everyone before himself. Make
Absolutely.
sure he puts himself first every now and again.
I'll give him a little shove.
Give him a big one.
You have my word.
Go on then.
As he's kind of turns his shoulder, the biggest thing that X is trying to do is just make sure that he doesn't turn back. And I think like the physical action of not turning back represents everything to him. And he just walks out of the room, walks off the stairs, and bids his family goodbye. And
Your dad just sort of gives you a wave in the distance. And as you step off the edge of the boat to dive into the water, you crash in and the whole world just goes green. And as that green fills you, all of the memories wash back over yourself. And you hear a soft voice in your head says, "Your mom's right. Just believe in yourself. I know you can. They're not going anywhere. Look at what you can do." And then you sort of tumble and roll, and you are back in the square where the tree was, soaking wet. All of your stuff and your stuff beside you as you sort of like cough and sputter up water as you remember everything in that moment.
X is gonna turn to Elton, just be like, "Hey, thanks for joining me. Here's to finding myself and for you to move forward." And so he remembers everything. now.
Everything. Both lives.
Okay. And he's gonna, as he's saying that, he's just gonna realize that this isn't the true reality that he's lived in, and he's just gonna look over at Elt and just lunge again at him with like the same love that he had for his mother. It's like, "Oh, wow, oh my, oh wow, Elt, this is, we're best friends again. Oh, what? Oh, thank you. I feel like I'm back in my body."
Elle's just gonna be giggling and just kind of like grab him, just kind of like hold him, like not like push him off, but just kind of like steady him, and yeah, we're best friends.
And as you say, in that moment when you're looking down at yourself, you say, "I'm back in my body." It's not your body. It's still the priest's body.
Got it. Well, but these garments can probably go away, and but I feel like I'm me, and it feels really, really good to be me.
That makes one of us.
Peter and Thalia.
Petra and Thalia.
Petra and Thalia. You two step across this threshold, and it's just taking a step. There's no noticeable difference aside from the fact that the world around you is now broken and shattered and pieced back together in a very strange way.
You're with me?
And then once you get scared.
Yes, just in case I get scared. Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna take your hand. No one else is watching and you seem safe.
This is the combination I've wanted. Wow. We're going to be speed walking, like walking relatively fast through whatever prisms and pyramids are around us.
What are you looking for? There is sort of, as you move through this, it is just endless streets and alleyways and buildings, but none of them seem right. None of them seem put together, but they all seem familiar. But it's like every memory you've ever had was shattered and glued back together by a 4-year-old.
It seems a bit precarious. I know that many of us have traveled here across time and space, but I want to know why I'm here too. Everyone else seems to have their reasonings for being stuck here, and knowing how they became embedded within one another's lives, and I just want to know why I'm with these people as well. It just doesn't make sense, and well, most of all, if I could find my Peter that you said was here as well, then, you know, of course we need to escape together. At the least. At the least.
So,
Dogs are getting into something up there.
so, how do we find the answers? How do we find Peter? Can you ask this place, or do you remember anything about this place?
Well, I mean, do you remember anything at all of how we got here?
I did I think, but I don't anymore.
Wisdom saves.
We are the last two people to not know, and we're together. That's not a combo.
I don't know either.
But you're a spoiled rich kid, so nobody cares.
Whatever. Who cares?
16.
Drive my Land
18.
Rover.
18. So, as Petra asks these questions of you, and you're just like thinking really hard, trying to remember what is going on, remembering what Anon said earlier about Denazim, a dragon, remembering what Eltamil was saying about this mother and everything else like that, there are shards and fragments that are sort of like cutting into your memories. You don't remember other Thalia, but you do remember that something outside of yourself and something strange happened that brought you here. It wasn't so much that you were one place and then there is another place. There's a gap, and something brought you here.
I know is that there is something that wanted me here. There's something that brought me here. I don't really know how, but I'm guessing that that thing brought us all here.
Yeah, seems to be. In all of the prisms around us, although like I'm assuming they're like kind of like portals of visions and what happened in our history.
It's when you look at a building, it's like
Reflections.
it's bits of different building put together with jagged edges. So it'd literally be like there'd be a brick wall, and then intersecting that brick wall would be a thatched roof or something like that. But it's all vaguely familiar, but none of it properly works together.
Could I just kind of graze my hand against one of the prisms?
Yeah, it just feels like brick or feels like stone.
My hand doesn't go through it, it just is.
It just is. It's a solid building. Just like everything else in this place, like when you looked at a building and touched the building, it felt like building. Here, it feels, but from one moment it'll be wood, and then it'll be brick, and then it'll be sandstone, and then it'll be something else. It's just like, it doesn't make sense. It's pieced and patched and broken and shattered and reformed all sort of together. And it's something that neither of you have ever seen. And it's both easy and hard to wrap your mind around, because on the surface it's like, oh, these are all just building things, but they shouldn't go together like that. That doesn't make sense. Same thing with the street. It would be like cobblestone and then dirt and then gravel and then paving and so on and so forth.
And so in these, I guess, warps of the reality around us, do I see pictures of my past in either side in any of them, or is it just the landscape and
Just the
environment?
landscape and environment made up of bits and pieces of different things.
The only way out is through.
Let's do it. Take your hand again because I stopped a while ago because I felt awkward, but I'm going to re-grab your hand.
I give her hand a big squeeze. We keep walking.
Okay. Eventually, you guys walk for, seems like 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, just going down these sort of endless sort of streets. And then you come across a river. And the river itself is also made up of a bunch of different rivers. It is green water that flows into blue water that flows into like a dark black water that flows into like this crystal clear mountain water, and it's all patched and put together, but it is a flowing river, and over this river is a stone bridge. And this river is wide, 300 feet across maybe, and the stone bridge is the first thing that either of you have seen that is a singular piece. And in the middle of the bridge is a baby.
Do you know that baby?
I don't know. What time of day is it?
Late evening?
No, we should make sure it's okay. It could have been here a long time, and we'll slowly get closer, checking our surroundings as well.
Perception check.
Man, this is a bad day, man.
Can I roll as well?
If you'd like to.
11.
25.
So you're looking around, but you're also you're focused on the child. Make a wisdom saving throw for me as well. What you see as you crest this bridge, it's just sort of like a soft curving bridge. So you couldn't quite see the other side, but as you guys come up a little bit further on the bridge, you see down the other end of the bridge soldiers, men in robes, like a fairly large group of people that are frozen in time coming. Like they're storming the bridge, but like time has stopped. Save through.
What was 15?
15. You, Petra, remember this moment. This is the moment you decided to save your son.
This can't be happening again. This can't be, and I'm gonna run full sprint to the bridge, the peak of the bridge, as fast as I can. And
You run, but you don't move forward.
that feels like a real nightmare. I'm just gonna keep scrambling and running and panicking, and I'll sweating. Sweat is like pouring to my
To
forehead.
you, it seems like Petra's moving forward, but to Petra, like you're just running in place.
Can I run behind her, move forward with her?
As soon as you start moving, same thing. You're moving forward. You can feel the ground underneath your feet moving underneath you, but you're not making any forward progress.
Petra, I don't think we're moving. We're not. I think we need to do something else. I think you need to do something else.
I can't let him go. I can't let him go. He's right there. We've been searching this whole time for him.
With that 25 perception check, you realize that the baby's body is still. No breath, no sound.
Petra, I don't know if the baby is still alive.
I'm gonna cast, if it's possible, Long Strider on myself in panic and desperation to see if I'm able to move any faster.
Make an Arcana check.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh my god. Bad roll after bad.
That makes sense right now. It's for the story feed. It's for the story. 6.
6, okay. You're gonna take 10 points of psychic damage.
10 points of psychic.
But you are able to break the barrier. Your will alone, casting the spell, everything as you break the barrier, and you see the world literally shatters around Petra. And as she takes 2 steps forward, The first step, her form shimmers and shatters. The second step, it reforms, and you're Peter again. And you have no idea what is going on. But on the bridge in front of you, you see a woman that you know to be your mother, even though you've never met her, holding a lifeless baby. Both of you make Arcana checks for me.
17.
8.
She is casting strong magic that you don't know, and you don't know what it is, but you know that it's dangerous. And you hear a voice in your head that says, "You're a bit of an anomaly. You're one body, but the soul doesn't match up.
Give me back my mom now.
Different puzzle pieces. I don't like this." And you go, and both of you appear back at the fountain. And you remember everything. But you are in Peter's body.
Remember being Petra as well?
Yep. But the memories of Petra hurt, but you remember them. But only Petra from this place.
In rage, I'm gonna start shooting in every direction, just like firing off my bow blind in every
I'm
direction.
just gonna.
Angry.
Peter, stop! Stop!
This place doesn't want to stop. I saw her. I saw her for the first time
I know.
ever.
Yeah,
I knew she was my mom. I just knew.
yeah.
I just want to go back.
Well, maybe we can make our way back. Are you okay?
What's your family like?
Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
Where are they?
Oh, my dad's probably drunk in the village that I came from, and I have no idea where my mom is.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Sorry what you just went through. That was a lot. I don't know the story, but it felt like history. Maybe your history?
I just don't want to be here anymore. I'm so sick of this place.
Valia's just gonna take Peter's hand and just sit next to him.
We're gonna just sit by the fountain now. I'll kill a stranger every so often with my bow and arrow, but nothing will happen.
They just shatter and then reform and go on about their business.
And every so often I'll just keep killing another.
I'm just gonna be like, you should probably stop doing that. But I mean, what the hell? You want one of these cigars I stole off Elf?
Yeah. Yeah? And I'm going to put it backwards in my mouth, like not knowing which direction.
Oh, hold on, kid. There you go.
We're going to cut the scene there because that's a great cinematic moment. Alora, you are still in your father's study, and the knife is just starting to cut across William Windscate's throat.
Did time freeze? Is time still frozen?
It is slow, not frozen.
Okay.
It is, millimeters at a time.
Okay. I'm going to cast Misty Step and transport myself right by him and just push my sister off him.
Okay, as soon as you put your hand on your sister's chest and push her back, time lurches and catches back up. What are you doing? And your father's like, Alora, stop this!
You stop. You never think. You just do whatever's best.
Exactly, we do what is best for the family, for the Imperium.
Maybe you should start rethinking that. I'm going to cast Ice Knife towards him.
Make a spell attack. Or is it a saving throw? I can't remember.
A spell attack.
Okay.
17.
17. Knife slashes out and sinks into your father's chest. And you hear a voice in your head says, "Sometimes we're born with families that seem like the greatest. We're given duties that seem important. That's twice you've made this choice now." And in that moment, all of your memories come flooding back. And you remember meeting William Wingate in Wanderlust, the same day you met the mother for the first time. And you remember knowing that you were sent there from the Hadragura to kill him. And you remember hearing him talk about how poorly his people were treated, how there is a hidden side to the Imperium City that your family never talked about and never saw. You were sanitized from any sort of hardship. And this is the second time that you've made this choice against your blood. And you remember everything. And the scene around you just sort of melts away, and there's a soft tink, 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 as the ice knife that you cast hits a solid green floor, red blood on it, and stays there.
Are they all still there?
You are in an empty green space.
Okay. I'll go and pick it up.
And it is a fully formed, feels like a regular knife. And then you stumble backwards and you're in the town square, staring towards the Imperium Street. But you are back in the town square and you remember everything.
Is anyone else there?
You see Extos and Elt soaking wet. You see Anon sitting by a fire.
Are you guys okay?
Oh, Laura. Oh, I remember you finally. Oh my goodness, it is so good to see you.
So, what is happening? All these memories. I was a wizard. I always wanted to be a wizard.
But, Laura, like, you're the greatest rogue that anyone's ever met. I mean, you could, like, look at, like, the speck of dust and hit it with your bow and, like, your wicked fist, and I'll never see you in battle, but all of a sudden there's, like, all these, like, people that are dead on the ground.
I walk up behind Alora and Eld and just give Alora a hug and say, totally forgot what I was gonna say. I'm gonna say, "You're back. I missed you."
It is good to see you all, and I'll give them a hug too. Where's Peter and Thalia? Where are they? And Petra?
None of them will come back yet.
Should we go and find them?
Well, maybe not in this world, but actually in the previous world that we were entering into the globe, that little orb thing, we were best friends and we're family, so I think the answer is probably yes.
Okay. I don't want to go into that glass street place though. That looked awful.
What are you two doing? Have you showed him how to properly smoke a cigar?
Yeah, I'm just working on smoking a cigar with him right now.
Peter is
Without inhaling.
Peter is puking the fountain.
Perfect.
I'm laughing at him while smoking the cigar.
Patting his back.
Yeah.
Oh. Look, if I'm gonna get out of here and find my family, we all gotta grow the fuck up.
What are you talking about? You're the kid. What do you mean, all kid?
Can I see your alley from here?
My alley?
You're in a completely different part of the town.
Yours are back at the fountain.
Yep.
Yeah, where you guys like first came in.
Got it.
Yeah.
Look, we got a good start on mine. I think it's your turn now.
Okay. I'm gonna finish the cigar first. That was a real trip back there.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Doesn't matter. I'm a socially awkward 16-year-old, 17-year-old who got a nat 1 on that. So.
It was Thalia all along.
She's the dragon.
For my master plan.
Mother? Sorry. Nat 1s. Yeah, I guess I just wait for her cigar and me to stop puking.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I know that sucked a lot, kid. That was really messed up, but we're gonna get out of here. It's gonna be okay.
I'm just. Weird part is I'm relieved. I'm relieved that I saw her. I was so afraid I wouldn't recognize her if I ever met her.
So you never met her before at that time, just now?
Just a feeling of knowing who someone is.
Were you the baby on the bridge?
I really don't know. But it doesn't matter because I know she's alive at the least now. We saw her. She'd be trapped here, but I just have to get out of here and find her now.
Well, it seems like she'd do anything to save you.
Really?
I think that's what she did. I don't know where she is now, but I think she did something really big to save you.
What was she like?
Oh, when I was talking to her, she was really cool. She was like kind of weird and hard to understand, but she was really nice. We held hands a little bit. I mean, yeah, she's like a special lady and stuff.
On my nat 1 insight check. So good. Yeah, she sounds really cool. Well, let's get out of here. And let's go find her.
Let's
And
do
we'll
it.
walk towards her alley. It seems like some purgatory. Like the 5 people you meet in heaven, except for it's the 5 versions of yourself you didn't like, and you have to meet them all in purgatory before you can move on.
Nice.
This is like a Studio Ghibli movie.
Do you look for your way?
Do I look for my way?
Yeah.
Not with any sort of determination.
Okay. So you just see the streets that were there before then, knowing that if you went that way and walked this way and everything else like that, you'd end up back at the broken tree.
Okay, so I know how to find my way there, basically.
If that's where you want to go, you can find your way there. Yeah.
Okay.
You both have gone that way. You remembering going that way twice in 2 different bodies.
I'm here if you want, but I also understand if this is something you need to do alone.
Oh, right. I need to do that. I was just gonna not do it. Your mom.
Do you want me to go ahead of you, make sure it's okay?
Yeah, sure. I'll stay here.
What were you guys doing?
That's so good.
Elf
Yeah.
is
Go and
drying
find-
off and just gonna be putting his armor on and
I'm just kind of hugging both of them, feeling pretty emotionally drained.
Let's go and find them then.
Yeah, like,
Well, who are we to rush what they're doing?
That's true.
Nothing bad happened to either of us, or any of us.
I mean, we can go in there, but I don't even know what that place is.
Actually, I kind of wanted to understand Thalia a little bit. She's like very angry, but at the same time, like his moments are being really cool. So I thought that maybe we could like get a peek.
Oh, you wanted to go into her cave. I thought you wanted to go into Mirrors.
Oh, actually, the mirrors are kind of scary. It's like a wave that never stops crashing on you. So actually, I'm okay on that. But Peter's really brave, so be fine.
Well, they went together. So
Well-
maybe they did hers. Peter's, Petra's, and now they're doing Thalia's. So maybe we can go after them.
Okay, well, let's head this way. And then X is just gonna start walking the direction that they were kind of at that crossroads of seeing kind of both of their realities.
Okay. So you come to that crossroads, and they're both there. You can see into one, an underground dwarven city, and you see into the other, as you so aptly called it, a reality where the wave is crashing continuously against the shore.
Thalia?
Do I hear him?
You guys sort of are walking into the square from behind them as you see the four of them looking into Thalia.
Hi, guys.
Hi, do you remember me? This guy, this blue guy, a friend?
Yeah, we've been hanging out here for, I don't know, how long has it been now? Yeah. You're X. You're the wizard.
Oh.
So you haven't gone and done your thing yet, then?
My thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not going to.
No, you're gonna do it.
I don't think so.
So you're gonna tell me I had to watch my wife die again. Again. And you're just gonna sit here and we're all gonna be trapped in here because you're too much of a coward to go face whatever the hell you got.
Hey!
No.
Elthamil's back.
I'm gonna step in front of
We've
Talia.
all been going through our own shit. And we've all been putting in the work to get out of here together. We're all doing this together, right? Or am I wrong? Are we just all one-on-one?
Well, we are a family, and my mom said find a new family, and here we are.
So the point I'm trying to make is we're all doing this together so we can move on to the next thing, whatever the hell it is. And
Hey.
it seems like all of us are starting to remember.
Let's stop. I don't think that you're giving her nearly enough credit. I mean, she taught me how to smoke cigars. She knows how to work through her shit. Right? She's an adult.
Those cigars are from me, and they're a coping mechanism.
Oh, you should work on that. It's called self-medication. Look.
What the hell are you talking about?
Just a hair.
Yeah, that was a Mean Girls for sure moment.
Why not?
Dahlia, if there's anything I can do for you, or any of us, we're here for you. You don't have to go alone.
Thanks, Peter. She's gonna scowl. Out.
I'm the one that's saying we're a team and we gotta be doing this together. I'm the one that said maybe we should all go together and not try to do this alone.
Why don't you go first, then?
I literally did go first.
Actually, Thalia, I think what Elt's trying to say is that he doesn't think you're brave enough to do this, so maybe you should probably prove him wrong. I don't know.
I mean, that's a good idea.
I hate everybody except for Peter right now.
I just kind of like
And you're
sidle
okay,
up,
no, right?
and I like grab your hand. I don't say anything. Just like, I'll give you a little squeeze.
I squeeze your hand back.
Peter's gonna grab her hand as well.
I'm gonna squeeze Peter's hand back. I'm just gonna start walking towards my path, holding their hands,
Aw.
but not looking at anybody else.
Okay.
Slightly angry.
You step forward and it gets a little bit darker as you step out of the roiling thundercloud green sky and step underneath the sort of green stone cavern roof of Tol Badur. And just like with everybody else, this is a place that is familiar but not quite right. You know, you don't hear the sounds of smithies in the distance. You don't smell the damp earth, and you don't see the oculus in the ceiling that lets light down into the city. But this is definitely Tol Badur. This is the crucible of your youth. This is where you came after things went south and you found who you truly are. And you have a moment where you realize that you're standing outside a chip tanker. Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
11.
Again, it's that sort of piercing feeling of thoughts and memories that are holding. You still remember what you remembered before when you were with Petra, the concept of there being gaps, that you're being brought to this place or thrust into this place that was different. And you remember a place called the Chip Tankard Tavern being where your life went sideways for the second time. And you're standing outside of this sort of wide stone building. The sounds of revelry and drinking and merrymaking inside. The 5 of you standing with her.
All right, then. I'm going to go inside the tavern.
Okay, so you all step inside, and instantly you are all like accosted with the smells of stale beer and staler humans, of dusty floors that are sort of kind of half-acidly tossed with rushes to try to soak up the booze and the vomit and the blood. You see dwarves and humans and dragonborn and elves and people of all make and fashion, all drinking and carousing and in song. Some people just passed out on the floor in a pool of their own sick. Barmaids and bartenders rushing around with huge tankards of ale. And in the back corner, next to the fire, a small round table, 3 men playing cards. Green cards.
I'm just going to go up to the table.
Oh, lassie, this is not a table for you. Out you go then.
Why the hell not?
You're just a small fish in a big pond. Away, away.
Are you scared? What I can do?
Make an intimidation check. These are 3 dwarven men, long beards, all black beards. All of their skin a slightly gray tinged color. Anyone can make a history check if they want.
10.
Actually, I have a really good history. 12.
17.
15.
12.
The 2 of you know these as Duergar. These are deep dwarves. They come from deep, deep below the earth, and long, long time ago were enemies of dwarven kind and any surface dwellers. But as the years had gone by, dwarven culture sort of homogenized, and now Duergar live with hill dwarves and mountain dwarves and so on and so forth. And there are still racial tensions and things like that, but they mostly coexist now.
I know this as well. I was
Oh
saying.
yeah, you definitely know this. So you say what you say, and he just sort of, I'm not scared of you. I'm scared of taking all your money and maybe a little bit, and then you having to go whoring around to earn another necklace like that. This is not a game for you. On your way.
I'm going to pull a chair back, and I'm going to sit down. I'm going to look him straight in the eye and say, I'm going to kick your ass back underground as shadows where it deserves to be.
Pick up your child and go. All of you. She doesn't belong here.
Pelt's gonna walk up, like right beside her. I believe she belongs wherever the hell she wants to be. And you better watch your tone when you're talking to her. You're gonna be dealing with all of us.
Make an intimidation check with advantage based upon what Thalia said.
20. What?
That's
22.
These are size. Fine. But we take all our money. And that's the last we hear of it. We gave her ample warning, so this is none of your business. So she can play, then you fuck off.
Elt will nod and just kind of take a step back and, like, understanding that's the deal.
Right, ante up then. And all three men, like, push piles of gold and platinum and silver. There's some gemstones and other things like that. Make a perception check for me.
16.
You notice in sort of this pile of bedding, there's this one slightly larger, rounder gold coin with the face of a very beautiful woman on it. He says, right, bids in.
I'm gonna take off my diamond necklace and put my jewels and stuff in.
You'll do. Play, and then they deal out some cards. We're gonna go rollies.
Nice. Love this.
Fun.
I've never gambled before, guys. I don't know.
D20s.
It might be, it's a day of firsts.
Might be Tyler's.
No. I don't know whose that is.
It could. I bought a pound of dice. It could be from the pound of
Oh,
dice.
Okay.
All right.
What are you rolling?
How much is a pound of dice?
Highest wins.
D20s?
D20s.
Pound, you.
One.
No.
Did you get
Nat
20?
20.
that one.
Oh, it is that one.
Oh, I got 11.
Nice.
I didn't want this to seem like I did anything here. It is a nat one. So it sort of goes around for a couple of minutes, cards changing hands, everything that's sort of happening. And after about a minute or two, and more cards are getting dealt, you're gaining confidence, and the men at the table see you gaining confidence and start losing confidence, and sure enough, the last card comes out, and you've got the winning hand. And instantly, the one who was talking shit the entire time just stands up and says, "You're a fucking cheat! I knew I shouldn't have had you play with me," and goes to pull a battle axe out. And time slows and stops. And the gold coin on the table sort of gleams. And you hear a voice in your head that you've only heard maybe 3 times before. A hand touches your shoulder. Oh, Thalia. This is where we met. And it's Timora's voice.
Do I remember meeting her as she says that?
Not yet.
Is it now?
Much to your chagrin, if I imagine and remember correctly, you asked to be saved, and I saved you, and you never actually wanted me to. So what if I just, and the hand lifts off your shoulder, go away?
Well, I guess I wouldn't know much difference because I'm sorry, but I don't remember you.
Right. And the hand sort of comes out from behind you, gold-painted fingernails, and just taps you on the forehead. And it's like getting hit with a sledgehammer wrapped in towels. It is big and heavy, but soft and just... you remember everything in that moment. And you remember begging for help. And you remember someone answering. And you remember kind of agreeing to it, but kind of with your fingers crossed behind your back.
Right. Yeah, that's right. You came to my rescue.
I don't think you ever said thank you.
Yeah, about that. I
Yeah.
mean, it was a nice thing that you did.
But
I'm just not like a pray to the gods kind of person, you know?
and yet you prayed to me and I answered.
Yeah, I guess I was just really down on my luck.
That's what I do. Goddess of coin, goddess of luck, goddess of saving your precious little ass.
I like that. I don't like having debt.
Who said that there was a debt?
Well, I mean, don't I owe you something for you helping me with all that stuff?
Maybe a little gratitude?
I don't know how to do that.
I know. It's really troubling. A
Well,
lot of people in your life have tried to help you, tried to give you things, and look, I know you've had a run of bad luck. Goddess of luck, after all. But would it hurt to just say thanks? Maybe do some good.
I do lots of
maybe-
good things.
Do you?
Yeah.
Ask Mick Jagger.
That's low. Fuck you, God lady. This is why I'm not grateful. That's a
You-
low. That's a low blow.
Fair, but you do what you want to do, regardless of what other people need or want or say
Well,
or
so do you.
think.
You do what you want to do, and you have everyone praying to you, making you more powerful and special.
I don't ask for it.
No, but you like it. You want me to be grateful. What's it to you? Why do you care? If you're so holy, you shouldn't need that.
I don't,
Good.
but maybe you do.
You don't know what I need.
Or do I?
I think you don't.
You have a choice. We all have choices, Thalia. You made one. I answered. I can take it back.
Like
You
I
just
said, that
say
was
the
really
word.
nice of you to do that. I don't like the fact that I needed you to.
You don't like to ask for help.
No, it's bullshit. It's weak and it's disgusting.
Asking for help is the
Oh, let's
strongest
not go
thing you
there.
can
no,
do.
I don't need this Care Bear marathon.
It's a Care Bear.
It's something.
Well then, if that's what you want,
What do you mean? What is that supposed to mean?
the
You can go
voice
someday and
starts
do
to
something?
recede,
Ooh.
and the axe starts to swing forward, and time is speeding up and speeding up
Can I try to
and
dodge the
speeding
axe?
up. You know you won't be able to.
All right. Oh. Okay, hold on. Let's talk.
Oh, okay.
Is this how you two like argue in real life? Okay,
He's
let's
just
talk.
creeping down the hallway. Peeks back.
Look, I don't need your thanks. I need you to realize that you can't do everything on your own. That's what got you into this mess. That's what got poor Thomas into his mess.
Well, I can't count on anybody else.
Can't you?
No, because they'll do something stupid, and then
And you
they'll
feel a
be
hand on
disappointed.
your head physically turn your head around to the 5 frozen people behind you. You can't count on anyone. These people who came into this space with you of their own volition can't count on anyone.
Oh, I guess that was something that they did. Yeah.
It was something that they did, yeah.
What if I
Did
count
they
on?
ask for thanks? Or did they
No.
just do it because they knew you needed it?
I don't want to be disappointed.
By?
Anybody else.
But it's okay to be disappointed in yourself as you fail over and over and over again because you're too afraid
Well,
to ask for help.
At least that's predictable. No unpleasant surprises.
True. Bad luck is still luck.
Look,
Is
I
it
don't want
worth
to
it?
get killed by the axe guy, so what do I need to do?
You already know what you need to do.
Thank you, Timora.
That's not quite it.
I mean, yeah, okay. I asked for your help, and it came, and I'm glad, and that's good.
Do you believe it?
No.
Didn't think so. You, facing your friends, looking at their 5 faces, feel the axe start to press against the skin of your shoulder. Any one of them can stop it if you just ask them to. You're not alone.
I'm gonna like look at their faces and what their expressions are, and
So
Get in.
you guys were frozen in the moment that the axe started to swing. What do you look like?
Peter
Yeah.
is reaching for his dagger to cut this person's head off.
Laura?
I am definitely going to ice knife this guy.
I'm doing finger magic.
Just sleight of hand.
cards and balloons.
I've got like a firebolt that's starting to like come, about to shoot it at
Elt's
the
been
guy.
ready to go since he threatened the guy.
So you see all 5 of these people willing to stand for you, get into a fight, not knowing the outcome, and tear this man limb for limb.
Yeah.
And you don't even know who they are.
I'm probably just gonna like look at them for a minute and just like take it in. I don't know how I found these people. I don't think I'm really worthy of them, but I'm glad they're here. I'm glad they want to help.
Do you accept their help?
Yeah.
That's enough for now. And in that moment, as you remember everything, you see daggers and ice knives and fireballs and swords and all the rest of this sort of flash over your shoulder. And then all of you are back at the fountain. All of you remember. Yeah, mid-swing, mid-cast, mid-everything, you just sort of stumble back and you all remember.
Looks like you did it. Well done. He's gonna pat you on the shoulder. Not like a
Yeah.
stupid pat, like a nice, like, you did it.
Thalia feels a mix between anger and appreciation towards you. Anger and love.
That's fair.
Yeah.
He'll take it. It's a
Yeah.
win.
Oh, Thalia, you did so good back there. I didn't really understand like your whole trial thing, but that was so incredible. And hey, do you think you could teach me how to play that game later?
Yeah, I can teach you how to play that axe.
Oh,
Thanks.
you remember everything?
Yeah. I just want to say thanks, guys, for doing that for me.
I'm just gonna bear hug and hope that people join.
Man.
Elle's just gonna stand there with his hand still on her shoulder. Not
Thalia's
joining
gonna
in the
look
hug.
over and she'll be like, come on.
Your hand's just like trapped in the bear hug.
It's like an homage to what you did.
And then
Right.
in that moment, you guys hear sort of a crack of thunder and a flash of green goes through the sky, and you just hear a voice in your head that sounds, "Oh, that's not good." And that's where we're gonna end tonight's session.
Classic.
Ooh.
That's yours.
Ooh. Oh, that was good. Man.
All right. We'll see you next week for episode 10.
Wow. Wait, are we on our?
wow.
Is this 3-episode streak right now?
This is a 3-episode
Wow.
streak right now.
One more, and we tie our record for most consecutive sessions.
And COVID ends tomorrow, so we know
Right.
what's going to happen.
We're
So,
done.
thanks for watching. We love you. Thank you for the comments in the chat. I promise you we read them, even though we may not read them live. And we'll see you next Monday.
Yay, bye.
Bye.
Not a doctor.
Bye.